Welcome to the SEC Unfiltered platform. I'm your host, Dave Shumate from Mach 10 Sports. Glad you could join us for another segment of the highest ceiling, the team's highest ceiling and their floor for the 2024 NCAA Men's College Basketball Tournament. We're South Carolina. We've done the first top four seeds in the SEC. Now we're to the sixth seed, the South Carolina Gamecocks, who are the sixth seed out in the Midwest region. Going to pull up that bracket for you right now. So South Carolina leading off with the 11th seed Oregon, who did end up winning the Pac-12 championship, Pac-12 tournament championship. Oregon, not a great defensive team, and I think this could really help South Carolina from that perspective. I'm honestly really not worried about this game if I'm a South Carolina fan. As crazy that is to say, I think South Carolina is only a 1.5 point favorite. I saw Vegas came out with either on Sunday night or yesterday. I trust South Carolina in this one because what they do well, they play with toughness, they play defense, and they rebound, and that travels. So I think that gets you through a first-round game if there's this big of a seed difference. So I like South Carolina to get there. So the ceiling would be, I think, Sweet 16. Granted, their second-round matchup would be against the offensive firepower team, obviously with Creighton, with Coach McDermott, Greg McDermott, Ryan Kalbrenner, and Baylor Shireman. So that'll be a tough matchup for South Carolina. They have to play one of their better games of the year, I think, in this one. But probably getting Creighton there. I don't really see the Zips getting by the Jays right there. But South Carolina on a neutral floor, again, what they do well travels. Where they struggle is when they run into teams that play physical, play defense, tough, get a bunch of blue-collar points as well, like teams like Auburn. And I know they beat Mississippi State twice, but that game was down to the wire both times in Columbia and in Starkville to end the year because they're so similar. So usually when South Carolina faces a physical team that can score and is a better offensive team than them, they struggle. But what they do is a consistent thing. So that's why I think South Carolina's ceiling is the Sweet 16. If they were to play well, get a big game from either Michi, Talon Cooper, maybe BJ Mack, that matchup between Mack and Kalbrenner would be interesting as well. You got Colin Murray. I think he would do. I think that matchup down there. I think South Carolina's got enough bodies to throw at Kalbrenner. I'll be honest with you. I think they got enough bodies to go throw it at Creighton to go win that second round game to get to the Sweet 16. Now, the bad news if you're a South Carolina fan. Tough part would be the floor of this team. Probably second round. Some people may be like, first round. I don't think there's a big gap. I don't see South Carolina going overly far in this tournament, but I also see them hanging around for a couple of days. I see them winning a first-round game against Oregon. I think the floor, though, would be Creighton. I think losing the second round to Creighton, and I think the Sweet 16, like I mentioned, the ceiling would be here. They probably ultimately get to Tennessee. And that's a team they've beaten in Knoxville. But, again, I just don't think South Carolina on a consistent basis is going to go win 3-4 games in a row in this setting because I think their offense is so limited. But what they do well, play defense, rebound, play with toughness. That's going to get you a win or two in March in the NCAA tournament on a neutral floor. It just is. So I think South Carolina, out of the teams in the SEC to me, there's not a big gap in their ceiling and floor. Remember, ceiling Sweet 16, floor second round. So people be like, no, their floor's in the first round if they lost to Oregon. I'm telling you, I like South Carolina a lot in this matchup. But just wanted to go over the ceiling floor here for the South Carolina Gamecocks as we're heading into that first round matchup. Again, I think this is the smallest gap of anyone in the SEC as we're heading in to the tournament starting on Tuesday and throughout the rest of the week. I just don't see I don't see South Carolina going on a massive run, but I also don't see them having an early exit because of their style. It's consistent. It travels, and that is key in March on a neutral floor. Again, I'm your host, Dave Shumate from Mach 10 Sports. I appreciate you joining us on the SEC Unfiltered platform. Give us a follow. It's obviously March Madness. We're going to have a ton of content being pumped out from a college basketball standpoint, specifically the SEC. College baseball, we just opened up the weekend, had phenomenal matchups. It was a tough week for some road teams in the SEC on the road in baseball. And then obviously spring football here. Missouri already wrapped up their spring game. We have a lot of content. So if you're one SEC 24/7, 365, this is the place to come to. Again, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of this content. But again, I appreciate you joining us on this segment of SEC Unfiltered.